Alright, so today I'm going to be doing some ink stenciling. It's just it's a little bit more difficult this time, but it has to do with a lot of different products. That's why. So this is the Hero Arts. It's the triangle background die, and this is the first time using it. It's in my previous haul video that you'll be able to see, and I'm just gonna cut it out of some regular white cardstock. Now the die is perfect. I think it's the perfect size of a regular card, A2 card. And now you can see there that I angled it a little bit on the paper. Physics says that it's a little bit better to angle it just so that it'll run through your machine a little bit easier, and it's a little bit less pressure on your machine, and it might get you a few better cuts. So I did that, and I also ran it through backwards again just to make sure that I cut out all those little triangles, because it's a pretty intricate die, and I just want to make sure that everything gets cut really well. So now you can see there that it kind of got stuck a little bit, so I'm just going to use my craft knife and pick that up. Plus I have that magnetic platform down so it doesn't move, so that's one reason why I had a little bit more trouble. So as you can see there, you can see how it cut out all those little triangles, and it cut it out perfectly, and it was a really good pass through the big shot, and it was really easy, and it's a pretty neat background. So first now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up with my X-Acto knife, and then I'm just going to use a stylus, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to poke out all those little triangles. So I'm just going to poke them all out. And what's this? It's just going to reveal I'm going to use it as a stencil today. So you can use it as your actual background, or you can use it as a stencil, which I'm going to be using today. So you can see there, I'm going to save all those little triangles for a different project. But first thing is, this is the main part of it that you want to use. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out some white cardstock, and I'm just going to do some stencil onto this white cardstock. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out, this is just some double-sided tape that's not that strong. I use it for most of my card making though, but as long as you put a little bit down, you can always adhere it something that's repositionable. So now I have this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some post-it note sticky tape. I'm just going to adhere it exactly, or stick it down exactly where it lines up. So I'm just trying to make sure that the triangles cover from top to bottom, and make sure that it's not off center or anything. Then I'm just gonna put some of this post-it sticky note tape down, and then you can also use some Scotch repositionable tape, or any kind of tape that won't hurt when you take it up. So make sure that it's not something that your paper will rip, so washi tape or anything like that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take out all my little sponge dabbers, and this is the Memories Apple ink pad. And what I'm going to do is I'm taking out my sponge dabbers. I'm just going to be making these inking it up in those triangles, trying to make it that it's really, make sure that you get everywhere in each of the triangles. And then what you're going to want to do is I'm just going to change all my colors. So I'm just going to kind of get even coverage, or even placement around the panel with each of the colors, and then kind of blend all the colors. So I'm going to show you all the ink pads that I'm going to be using today. So I'm also going to be using the Distress Ink Peacock Feathers, Distress Ink Shabby Shutters, Memento Danube Blue, Memento Dandelion, and I have a lot of other Memento ink pads that I'm going to be using. Memento Summer Sky, Memento Bahama Blue, Memento Bamboo Leaves, and the Memento Rich Cocoa. I'm also going to be using 2 dewdrops. I'm going to be using the Brilliance Starlight Silver, and then the Brilliance, another silver, Platinum Planet, I think. So now I'm taking out, this is the Crackle Accents from Inkcentials from Ranger. And I was going to first do, in each bubble, do all this dimensional work with the Crackle Accents. But then I decided that what was best was just to spread it around. And then what I decided was, it was getting under each one of these triangles. It wasn't really staying where I wanted it to. So the only way, I just decided that I would have to lift up this and just do the whole panel with the crackle accents. So that's the one thing that I decided that I would do. I think that the best way to do it so that it doesn't get under your stencil is use some kind of embossing paste. So I know you can buy some crackle embossing paste that does some cracking effect, but not having to use crackle accents, because I think that it's a little bit thicker when you use something like crackle. Compared to this is really thin, and it's just like a glue, so it just seeps under all these triangles, and it didn't give the effect that I wanted. Another thing that I realized was that with the crackle accents, unless you put it on really thick, it doesn't crack. Or I just maybe had to do it a little bit thicker, but I spread it out really thin, and it ended up not cracking at all at the end. So you can see here, this is my panel. I'm just pulling it up because again I put that tape behind the back, and I'll show you that this is how it started off. I thought it was gonna crack, but it ended up just staying exactly the same. So next time I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker and maybe not spread it like that how I did. Maybe I would have to do it in a different way. I think I was just gonna do it with some die cuts. So now I took out this tag die from Lawn Fawn, and I'm just gonna cut it out, and I'm gonna be making a little tag for a front of a card. So I decided that I would cut out 2 of these tags to save this extra work, because we did a lot of work to make this panel, so I thought that I might as well put it onto 2 cards instead of making it into 1 card. So now I'm taking, this is from Sizzix, from Doodlebug, and from Hampton Art, and I'm just gonna stamp out this thanks stamp in VersaFine. It's just a little tag die, stamp and die set, and I just cut it out, and I'm gonna be using this hole punch, and I'm just gonna punch out that little hole that's in the middle. Then I'm gonna take out my Copic marker in the black, which is 100. I'm just gonna define that edge inside of that tag because it looked a little bit uneven. And then I'm just gonna adhere that on. I'm gonna grab out some baker's twine, and then with the baker's twine I'm just gonna do some wrapping. So as you see here, I brought out this twine. I believe this is the Queen & Company twine. It's just a really inexpensive twine that you can buy at most craft stores. So you can see there, I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm going to do it twice, and then I'm going to put it the second time in the hole again. So you can see there, I just did that. And then now I also adhered the tag with this foam adhesive. And now I'm going to adhere this big tag onto my card base with this foam adhesive. It's going to make this card a little bit dimensional because I also have it on that little tag, that little thanks tag that went onto this bigger tag, but I think that it'll easily fit in the envelope still. And you can see I have that embossed background using the Swirls embossing folder that came with the burlap embossing folder from Distress Inks and Ranger. So I'm just going to add these clear rhinestones, and then I have my finished card. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please leave your comments below. If you want to see any of my other cards, you can visit micascrafts.blogspot.com. Have a great day. Bye.